Welcome to True Crime and Celebrity News. If live breaking news and court trials and following true crime your thing, please consider subscribing to my channel, and if you see what you like in my content, please consider giving the content a thumbs up. Welcome to True Crime and Celebrity News. If live breaking news and court trials and following true crime your thing, please consider subscribing to my channel, and if you see what you like in my content, please consider giving the content a thumbs up.
Hello, I'm back. Thank you so much for being patient. But tomorrow, I'm going to go live until 1. That'll give me 2 hours. And then I think about that time they should be taking their lunch. And then I got to go with a family member to Iowa City. And that's like an hour and a half drive there and back. Not sure how long the appointment will take. So, but I do plan on going live once I get home. But yeah, this is True Crime and Celebrity News. Thank you so much for joining me. Still Monday, November 10th. I see that I don't get into politics, but I see the shutdown has ended. So that's a good thing. Yay! So we are going to finish out the day for Devyn Michaels. She is the one that unalived her, hit her boyfriend. We don't quite know how he was unalived. So, all right, let's get it going. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Move into some of this mapping?
Sure.
Let's do that.
So this is a good example to use standalone, but so we'll download Google Earth. This is typically what we use. Everybody has access to it, and it's provided by Google. So all of the software is able to create a file that Google Earth can read. So I'm just traveling down to Las Vegas. Oh, and actually, this particular record, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So,
All right, so before you move on, while you're moving on, I guess tell us what you're doing.
so right now I have Google Earth open. This is going to be the program that we view the mapped records in. So now I'm navigating to the file, the Google Earth file that I'm able to open that I created with that record in the CDR mapping, map data. So I'm going to open the Google Earth map to export that I created. So it's going to zoom into the area of the mapping. And there's a couple things to explain here.
Yeah, go ahead.
So what we have up here in the top left is our little, and this is where it'll be more and more interesting for you guys. In the top left here, we see the time period that's displayed. So we have the records starting on 7/31 and they end on 8/21 of 2023. So right now it's showing all transactions during that time period.
Is it converted from UTC already?
Yes, I converted it in my mapping software.
Okay.
So I already converted it. This is PDT, so this will be -7. It'll be an hour offset from our current time because of daylight savings time that just occurred. However, it's showing me what I showed you before, these towers, and then every tower is going to have associated data with it. So it copies all the data from the spreadsheet, and it'll show me how it used that data to map it. So now we have the actual maps that we can produce from all that data on the spreadsheet.
And the date range that you were just referencing, that is the entirety of the records that you received for Andrea Ray.
Correct.
So it goes back to July 31st of 23 and it's August 21st of 23.
Correct.
Is that common to get that amount of time in records?
Yeah, oftentimes what we'll do is if we know when an event happened, we will look for a pattern of life as well. So we'll request a few weeks maybe before the event, just so we can see what their movements are, where they're typically located before the actual event in question that we're interested in.
And all of this has to be approved by a judge.
Correct.
And so, there's a lot of private information contained on your phone record.
I don't know about you guys, but I really find cell phone stuff and stuff like that really interesting. I do. All right, here we go.
So you can't go overbroad and ask for like the entire cell phone history of this phone.
Correct. It's not a blank check, otherwise the warrant will get denied. So we can only ask for a reasonable window of time that would be relevant to what we're looking into.
And so this is the records that you received from Detective Ozawa associated with Andrea Reyes' phone.
Correct.
And show us what's relevant about the mapping related to this phone.
So if we zoom out a little bit, we'll see that it's in the state of Oregon. I don't have the state lines here, but this is California. Las Vegas is right here where my mouse hand is. And then up here, just north of California, we have an area in Oregon. And I can even turn on some borders and labels so we can actually see a little bit more familiar. So here we have the state of Oregon. Zoom in down here to southwest Oregon. That's where all of the records are at. It started automatically zooming in because there were no records outside of this area. So for this particular phone number, the records are only in what you see on my screen right now. They never go anywhere else.
Got it. And so you as a detective...
Thank you to everybody that's here. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Mostly just make sure you like the live, so that way YouTube knows that to show it out. All right. I'm trying the vertical. That's really cool. I can do vertical and horizontal. Actually, I really didn't even know what it was, to be honest. So, okay.
You don't have any information as to why Andrea Reyes may be relevant, may be irrelevant. You're just given this information and you're trying to figure out where her phone was at an operative time period.
That's correct, and I prefer not to know that information so I can just review the records as they are.
Can you focus in on the late evening hours of August 6/23 through the early morning hours of August 7th?
Yep, and what I can do is I can either adjust the slider here to narrow my window of time, but since we have something specific, I can actually type it in as well. So what was the date range that you wanted again?
Let's go with 10 p.m. on August 6th into 2 a.m. on August 7th.
Okay.
So we don't have to redo this, actually. Can you just do noon on August 6th or noon on August 7th?
Sure. So noon from August 6th, Pacific Daylight Time, to August 7th. Noon again, Pacific Daylight Time. And then you can see here, it'll show what time zone I'm using. And again, this is Southwest Oregon. And these two towers, we can infer based off everything I just told you about how the cell towers and network coverage works. This is a good example actually of a rural area where there's not a lot of towers and there's multiple cities and geographic areas that one tower can actually service. And you'll see there's two main towers that the people in this valley utilize, and the records were bouncing back and forth depending on which one had the best signal.
Okay, so it looks like Ms. Reyes' phone was in Oregon during the operative time period we just provided.
Correct.
We can back out of, well, unless you want to illustrate that with the moving map.
This one's not a great one for it because, and this is where rural detectives might have some troubles because you don't get a lot of movement in rural areas just because there's not a lot of towers that service large geographic regions. So I can close this out if we're done with it.
Yeah.
And let's travel back to Las Vegas.
All right, so if you can exit out of, or don't exit, minimize Google Earth, go into the second folder there.
Okay.
What are we looking at here?
This is the provided files and mapped data for the phone number 702-561-9242.
And that was provided as Johnathan Willette CDRs.
Correct.
Let's open the provided files real quick. CDR records, original. What are we looking at?
So these are the records that they send. These records are going to be a little different because they obtained them in a different way from my understanding. They used live tracking, and when you request live tracking of the phone, they'll also send you the historical records that we've been talking about, but they don't label them as nicely for us.
Okay, so hold on a second. So we talked a little bit earlier about attempting to locate suspects, and you've used this technology before.
Correct.
If a particular phone is missing from a scene, they go a different route and request records in a different way.
Correct.
So they could actually go find that phone, and you don't know how that phone was ultimately found, whether they used this or they just happened upon it.
Correct.
Okay, go ahead.
So we can open up the files though. This is the table of contents I was talking about that the previous records and other T-Mobile records come with. It's actually pretty easy to look through, and I believe you all will have access to this. But it tells you literally what every single one of those columns and rows means. It gives you some reference examples, and then it gives you some stuff that is not as important. However, it explains the date, it tells you the format the date's in, the call type, and then this is where we can see what each one of those things mean. So MOC, mobile originating call, MTC, mobile terminating call. It'll tell you what the transaction was, if you really wanted to dive into it and see what each row was talking about. Let me close that out. The next one, and they didn't label them very well for us. This is the certificate of authenticity. Same thing that was provided with the previous records, and that's provided with all records for us to utilize. They're just saying that these are legitimate from our end, and they're true and correct as far as they have them stored. And then this is just a request form for us. So when we want to terminate the live tracking, we fill out this form and send it back to them. And then we can get into the subscriber information. This is an example of a more complete set of subscriber information.
And read for the record the subscriber name here.
That subscriber name is showing Johnathan /Tracy Willette /Baker.
Okay, and then there's a address associated with that.
Correct?
That subscriber address is what was given when the phone was initiated, correct?
That's correct.
You can't glean from that address where the person lived at the time of any given incident.
No.
Okay. When was the activation date on this one?
11/13 of year 2020.
And then IMSI, same as we've described before.
Yep, same as we described before. The serial number for the SIM that they're using. MSISDN, which is again a fancy way of saying phone number. And that's going to be the target phone number for these records, which you'll see in the top left of every associated record as well.
Did you read that into the record?
The phone number for the record we're looking at? It is area code 702-561-9242.
Okay.
You know, earlier when this guy was going through this stuff, I was thinking to myself, what, I understand like the purpose of it, but I don't get where this is. Are they going to show us that they were sitting outside mom and dad's house before Johnathan was met his demise? I mean, what's this showing us? I don't get it.
Close out of that, move on to the next. And you're hitting don't save, I noticed that every time. You're leaving this exhibit in the condition the exhibit is going back to the jury.
Correct. Yeah, I'm not changing anything. So when I click around, sometimes you'll see like that column collapsed into a different number format. I don't want it to stay like that. I want it to stay the way that we received the record. So I'm just saying don't save.
Got it. What's the
next one would be, and this is why I have another folder that says functional format.
Oh, okay. What does that mean?
That just means that they sent me a weird format. It's Microsoft Excel 97 to 2003. So that was the way they saved it on their end. So what I was able to do, it just asked me if I wanted to convert it to a format that my computer can read, which I did, which is why I made this functional format folder. So now we click that and it'll actually open up.
Okay. And so, again, we're working with T-Mobile records for Johnathan.
Yes.
And all the columns that we went through previously, that would apply to this record as well?
I really
the
wish I
same-
could
same
be good
record.
in computers like this.
So we're clear, this is in UTC as we look at it now.
Yes.
And any mapping you did with regard to Jonathan's phone would have been converted over.
That's correct.
Okay.
And they tell you at the top, they remind us that all times are in UTC, and then they tell you the actual time frame of the records at hand. So these records are from 6/1 of 2023 to 8/7 of 2023. And so it's a lot longer, and and this is why we use programs to map them, and we don't do it by hand, because there are thousands and thousands and thousands of rows,
Oh God, you do imagine.
all the way down to almost 6,000 transactions in this one set of records.
Got it. Now, these particular records end on August 7, 2023 at 8:55 p.m. UTC.
Correct.
I hate to put you on the spot to do math, but what is that in Pacific time?
Oh, that should be 1:55 in the morning.
1:55 in the morning?
Or sorry, no, we're PM. 1:55 in the afternoon.
Okay. And so you wouldn't know if that device was actually found at that time by the detective?
No.
Okay.
And then nothing really to go over otherwise. It has the date, the time, and UTC, like we said, and then you'll have to be on the spot and subtract 7 with a 12 in the mix to figure out the time. But.
And let me correct my language. I said you wouldn't know if the phone was found at that time. It could have been seized at that time. You just don't know.
Yeah, that's correct. I don't know the details of the device itself. I'm just operating off of what the network provided us.
Okay. Close out of that.
Okay.
And timing is new.
Yes.
So let's go into this and describe how this is different from what we've seen with Ms. Reyes.
So these are, we map them as the timing arcs. So when I showed you all those crisscrossing arcs, this is where that comes from. It's a separate document. And again, it uses that echo ping to calculate the distance from the network. There is a way to map it with lat longs, but it's not as accurate as GPS, and they give us weird confidence levels. So instead, I map it as the arcs because we actually know how that works, and there's more confidence involved with it. And it tells us some of the same stuff we've seen before, like the IMSI, the IMEI. It tells us the phone model, and then it will tell us the actual time as we scroll over. It'll tell us the time of the transactions, and the way that I map it, and the best practices and industry standard way of mapping this kind of information is utilizing those arcs, and it measures the distance here in these columns. But it's using the same cell towers, same location information, same date and time, same device information. The only difference with timing is it's using those antennas, and it's calculating the distance from the antenna whenever they're sending that little ping signal to the phone, and the phone's sending it back.
Okay. Close out of that unless there's anything more to talk about.
Nope.
And we go into map data.
So mapped data.
Go ahead, I'll let you kind of take the floor with this.
Sure, and so what I like to do, I use CastViz and Trax. There's a lot of different mapping programs out there. They all do essentially the same thing. They take all of those spreadsheets we just looked at, and then they will convert all of that into visual data that we can see on a map. It'll take the lat long, it'll take the facing. We know which direction the antennas face because in those records it provides what we call an azimuth, and that's the direction in 360 degrees with north being 0. It tells us how many degrees that tower is facing. So we know all of that information so that we can put it on a map. And you can actually map these records by hand. But again, we use the software because I don't have time to map 6,000 records per transaction. I use CastViz and Trax primarily, and I like to map it with both because then I validate the software off of each other. As long as I'm getting the same result with both software, I know that they're doing their job. And then I like to get into the records as well and verify a couple points of interest just to make sure, again, that the software is doing its job, which it reliably does, and it's trusted in the industry.
So you actually go in and just kind of point check the
Yeah.
work that the software does?
Yes.
And you actually do the mapping with the lat long?
Yes. Yep. And I even like to go in sometimes with Google Earth, for example. You can go in and you can see the street view. I like to go in and you can visually confirm. You can use Street View to see that there's a cell tower there. So sometimes I just like to make sure that the software is doing its job correctly and all of the data is correct.
Which one are we going to work off of here?
CastViz, I include Trax, and Trax is the one that makes that big kind of potato shape. I use that kind of illustratively. However, I rely predominantly on CastViz just because it gives us the raw data that's in the spreadsheets. It gives us the antenna, it gives us the sector width, so it's not inferring or adding anything. It's a little more sterile and a little more basic. So I like to work off of CastViz. So for the remaining exhibits, I'm going to be showing CastViz stuff. For these, though, I mapped them all together if you would like to. So for these remaining files, we can go through before opening the actual mapping because
because you have them all included?
I was able to make it so I can open them all at once and then we can select.
Okay, before we do that, go in and open up the, slow down here.
Sorry.
Before we do that, back out, go to the CDR mapping. Folder number 3 is what?
It's marked as phone number 702-677-4430, Devyn Michaels CDRs.
Open that. Provided files, CDR records, and certificate of office. So now we're finally seeing an AT&T logo, is that right?
Correct.
So what we talked about earlier was T-Mobile records. They're kept a little bit differently than AT&T records, correct?
Yes.
Pull out or close out of this. This is just the normal certificate of authenticity saying these are the records for this number.
Correct, same concept.
And then what are these extra folders?
So we have 2 different folders. They send it as a zip file, so I preserve that and then we extract it. So if we click the zip file, you'll see a bunch of records in it. So then I will unzip the file so it's computer friendly, and it's a copy of the file. So I left the zip copy there because that's how they send them. It just compresses it so it can go through email.
Got it. So let's open up the uncompressed or decompressed version.
Yep. So the uncompressed, there's 2 different sets, by the way. They requested the timing, I believe, after the fact, or we got 2 different sets of records through 2 different requests. So yeah, this is the timing. So this is the main one where we have the actual call records, if you want to get into that.
Yes, please.
So let me open up the key first. Similar to the T-Mobile key, they give you a reference key just because it's too much to be able to memorize or know what all of these things are when they send it to regular detectives. So everything is defined, everything that you would need to reference. So when it's talking about cell locations, it gives you details on how it works, deeper than what we need to go into today. But it's given you the actual site IDs for the cell towers, it's given you the lat longs, and then it's given you the actual beam widths, which is how wide we make that wedge. It's almost always 120 degrees. And then it gives you some definitions. So there's just a lot of good information in here that I refer to frequently whenever I see something weird in the records that I don't understand or that I want to know more about. And it explains how it all works. And then they give the files to us in 2 different ways. So they give it to us as a PDF, which is more human-friendly. And the report AU for AT&T is the call detail records with all the phone and text transactions. And then they also put their data in one sheet.
Well, we'll get to that in a moment.
Sure.
This looks different from the T-Mobile records, so let's kind of go through the columns real quickly.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So different but still similar. So at the top left, you'll still always see the target phone number. And for this record, it's 702-677-4430. At the top, they're letting you know that these are in UTC time, so you got to do some math if you want to convert it to your local time, which my software does. And then you're going to have the same columns. They're nice enough to give us a row number for their columns. And then they also give us the date, the time. They give us the originating number, the terminating number of the call, so both sides of the call transaction again. We see the familiar IMEI, which is the serial number for the device. We see the familiar IMSI, which is the caller serial number for their SIM card. And then it gives us the locations of the towers that's being used.
Okay. You can close out of that. And did we skip over the subscriber on this one?
That one might have been in the other folder here. This would be the subscriber information.
Oh, just for the record, who's the name on that?
The name on this is Devyn Michaels.
And the address?
The address on record is 5510 Porcupine Rim Street, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89130.
And does this one show activation date like the other ones did? Service start date?
Yeah, it shows
that.
Where'd you see it?
Right.
Oh, here we are. Active time. So the MSISDN, and remember that's the acronym for phone number, active on 11/23/2021 to now, or when we pulled the records.
Got it. Okay, you can close out of that. Thought we'd skip that. What else we do?
They give us a couple different things, and for some reason they'll send it as a separate file. But the IMEI is saying for this phone or this IMEI, this is the phone number that's associated with it as of this time, 7/10/2023. And then the phones will often have, sometimes we'll see two of these just because you can have different SIMs inside one device.
Sorry, forgot I was on mute. I was finishing up my supper. We treated ourselves tonight. He got himself Dairy Queen. I got McDonald's. I like their McChickens, so I had 2 McChickens and chicken nuggets and French fries. Oh my God, I'm so full. But anyways, I hope this gets a little more interesting. I just don't know. This guy is like, he don't even make it fun. We're going to skip past him. Like, he has totally made this boring.
Businesses on the nearby street corner.
So you're not like a guy in the chair in the back office. You're actually out doing the work, and you still go back and review it when it's given to you of what they want.
Well, now I am the chair in the back office. Back then, I was actually transitioning into the role that I'm in now. So I was still partially involved with the street side of it at that time.
So you actually had more information about this case than just here's a file, track this phone.
Yes.
You knew a decent amount because you were out in the field. You were tracking down videos and evidence at this time of this incident.
Correct.
And
Oh, my bad. Not with him. I was trying to.
You're given the phone numbers by the detective to track. You're not actually collecting all the devices. Let me clear that up. You're given a phone and they say track this through your software, correct?
Well, I was just provided the phone number and the records that they had already obtained.
And those are provided to you by the detective.
Yes.
And if there's other phones that are collected during the investigation, you would know about that. You're just given the phones by the detective.
Correct.
So if there's phones that were left out or other devices, you don't know about them. You just were given what the detective wanted.
Correct.
Court's indulgence? No further questions, Your Honor.
All right. See,
No, thank you.
do the ladies and gentlemen of the jury have any questions for this witness? Okay, seeing no response, so they're excused. Thank you very much for the testimony here today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Do we need to unhook all of his stuff?
Yeah, I got to unpack a little bit.
Okay. Would you go ahead and do that?
All right, thank you. Yep. Yeah, that one's my wire. Yeah, you can just roll that up. Thank you. Yep. Perfect. Thank you, sir. Okay, that should be it.
Then you may call your next witness.
State's next witness is Detective Carl Lippisch.
The question is starting.
Thank you.
solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to hear in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
May I proceed?
Thank you.
Detective, you please state your full name and then spell it for the record.
Full name is Carl Lippisch. First name is Karl. Last name is Lippisch.
Sir, how are you employed?
I work for the city of Henderson as a police officer.
And specifically, what's your position there?
Currently a detective with our Crimes Against Persons unit.
How long have you worked in that capacity?
I've been in this unit for just over 9 years.
What are some of your duties in your unit?
Our unit, Crimes Against Persons, responds to violent crimes, including like homicides, death investigations. We do any violent crimes such as shootings, stabbings. We respond to officer-involved shootings, as well as suspicious deaths, suicides, robberies, and a lot of cases like that.
And so when you're investigating those types of cases, what are some of your duties? Are you collecting evidence, something else?
Yes, depending on our role that we're assigned, depending on how many detectives are assisting with the investigation, you can either be the primary person with it, who's kind of overseeing everything. You can be doing interviews, collecting evidence, whether it be physical evidence on scene, tracking other evidence down, collecting video surveillance, writing search warrants, a wide range of job duties that are necessary for the investigation.
Okay. So then turning your attention to August 7th of 2023, were you assigned to assist in a murder investigation on that date?
Yes, I was.
And did you respond to the actual murder scene, which was at 2698 Paladura Drive?
Yes, I did.
Who was there when you arrived that day?
At that time when we arrived, as detectives, we're usually contacted after the fact, after the initial response. So when we arrive, our Henderson police officers have already arrived at the location, and typically they've kind of frozen location or kind of taken control of the area to make sure that it's preserved as best as possible.
And is that what was happening at that Paladura Drive when you showed up?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Did you arrive in the morning hours of that day?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And who did you arrive with?
At that time, I don't remember exactly who in my squad was all on duty, but I believe Detective Ozawa and I were both working that morning. I know my sergeant, Sergeant Slattery, and then I believe the rest of our squad, as well as CSAs, were called to respond as well.
And can you walk the ladies and gentlemen of the jury through what you did at the scene when you arrived?
When we arrive on a scene, especially something of this magnitude, we will meet as a squad initially, and then we will get with whoever the on-scene ranking officer or like lieutenant or sergeant is for the patrol squad. They will typically have a brief that they can provide to us, give us as much detail or information as that they have, which would include involved parties, locations, if there's vehicles involved, any details that are pertinent that they've already learned once we arrive at the scene. And then after that has been conducted, we'll then get together as a squad and we'll determine our jobs and responsibilities. Once that's done, we could also end up doing like a walkthrough of the scene to then be able to kind of get a feel for what exactly we're looking at.
So talking about this specific scene on August 7th, 2023, you arrive, you get a briefing like how you just mentioned?
Correct.
Okay, so some initial details that the first responders provide to you, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And then after getting that information, what did you physically do?
On this scene, because the family was there and the family was, obviously they were dealing with the trauma of it and they're very cooperative with us, we were granted consent to initially walk in and kind of understand what we were there for, what we were responding to. We were able to see the initial scene, see the inside of the residence, and see the deceased person lying in the bed, so that we were able to kind of understand what exactly our investigation was going to entail.
So essentially you do a walkthrough of the murder scene, is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. After going ahead and doing that walkthrough, did you assist with the execution of a search warrant?
Yes, I did.
And that search warrant was granted for the residence from a judge, correct?
Yes, it was.
And did you also, were you involved in a search warrant for a truck that was located at that Paladura address?
Yes.
Now, talking about the scene itself, you mentioned that you did a walkthrough and then eventually assisted in the execution of the search warrant, correct?
Yes.
So talking about the scene itself, if you remember, there was, and correct me if I'm wrong, a living room, makeshift bedroom, sort of past the kitchen in the residence. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. And was the body found in that room?
Yes, it was.
Where was the body?
The body was lying on the bed that was in that room, kind of lying across the bed.
Were there blankets?
Yes, there were.
You also noticed blood at the scene?
Yes.
Was there anything unique or interesting about the blood that you saw at the scene?
The blood at the scene was primarily limited to the space of the bed itself. The way that the body was positioned on the bed, the torso and the neck were up towards the edge of the bed, and then the severed head was not there, so the neck was exposed. And then the blood itself there was some that had like come down from the body directly straight down, but there wasn't, I should say, hardly any like blood spatter or anything like throughout the room that you may initially think due to the fact that the head was missing.
And just to be clear, there was no blood spatter that you saw?
Correct.
Okay. Did you also find chemical bottles?
Yes.
And where were those found?
There was 2 bottles that were found in the hallway that would lead from this room that was kind of the makeshift bedroom, more like a living room style, but it had the bed in it. There was a hallway that led from that room to a bathroom, laundry room, as well as out to the garage. And those were found in that hallway.
Okay. And 2 bottles to be exact, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Cleaning agents?
Yes.
And you mentioned you've been with the unit, this specific unit, for 9 years. Was this your first and only decapitation investigation?
Yes.
So it's quite rare. I think you mentioned that previously, right?
Correct.
Ultimately, then, after you conduct this initial execution of the search warrant walkthrough, are you then assigned to canvass sort of the surrounding neighborhood of the residence for video surveillance?
Yes, I assisted with that.
And that essentially becomes your larger role in the investigation, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Then, after canvassing for video surveillance at that Paladura address and the neighboring community there, did you then assist with the execution of a search warrant at a 5510 Porcupine Rim?
Yes, I did.
And after assisting with that at the 5510 Porcupine Rim, you then begin to review all of the videos that were ultimately collected from the canvases, correct?
Yes, and the canvass took several days, just in terms of the amount of video that we were able to collect, as well as just the number of houses in both neighborhoods. All of that video was not obtained immediately. It took several days and going back out several times to do the best we could to get as much video as possible.
And I'm showing you what's been previously admitted as states 11A. Your Honor, permission to publish.
Permission granted.
And this here, this would be the neighborhood of Paladura, correct?
Yes.
And all of these little, I guess, yellow thumbtacks there, are those the residences that were canvassed and the area that was canvassed?
So do you guys like the horizontal and the vertically, or no? Because I can do horizontal or vertically. Yeah. StreamYard's giving you an option for that now. Isn't that cool? Well, I thought it was, and I can't get rid of the box for the chat. So we just have to live with that empty box over there. Sorry. So he's with the police department, the Henderson Police Department. He's talking pretty much the same stuff that the last 4 people did. So, well, I think that's pretty cool. All right, here we go.
For video surveillance.
I believe so.
Do you have a reason to dispute that that's the area?
I don't, other than just the number of, or the specific addresses and stuff. I'm not sure what they are, but I believe that those, I know that we canvassed those entire area.
Okay.
So
so you had members of the team with you canvassing as well. It wasn't just you.
Correct.
Is that why you're hesitating a bit?
Yes.
Okay. But you as the collective went ahead and canvassed this entire area with these thumbtacks here.
That is correct.
Okay. And then I also had mentioned permission to publish states 11.
Permission granted.
We have here another map showing the 5510 Porcupine Rim address. There was some canvassing, as we mentioned, in that location as well, correct?
That's correct.
So I want to start with the canvassing of the Paladura address, which was the neighborhood of the murder scene, correct?
Yes.
The actual neighborhood itself was searched as well as nearby businesses, correct?
That's correct.
During your review of the surveillance footage that was obtained, were there certain videos that ultimately became important as part of the investigation?
Yes, there were.
And why did they become important?
Because we were able to identify specific vehicles that were involved with our associated people to this.
And specifically then, the vehicle located at Paladura was a truck with a trailer attached, is that right?
Correct. It was the 2020 white Chevy truck.
Belonging to Johnathan Willette?
That's correct.
And then also a vehicle of interest was a 2017 Nissan Armada belonging to a Devyn Michaels, correct?
That's correct.
And then at the Porcupine Rim address, there was also a white work van as well as a blue Honda vehicle that was in the driveway, both belonging to a Devyn Willette.
Correct.
And so knowing those vehicles, that's why when you're reviewing the surveillance video, you have those vehicles in mind to see if there's anything of evidentiary value, correct?
That's correct.
So ultimately, you're able to collect from various addresses according to that map, but specifically you obtained a video from 2696 Paladura Drive, correct?
Yes.
And that would be the house next door to the murder scene at 2698, correct?
That's correct.
Then also 2696 Paladura Drive.
Correct.
What happened? Just lost.
Drive.
Yes.
A Chevron at a 2699
Maybe it's from me trying this horizontal stuff. Maybe I should just try to get rid of that. How? I don't know how. I guess once you're live, it's there. All right, well, let's try the video. I mean, it shut everything down. Okay, so I hope that got rid of that vertic or the horizontal. Long crime trials. God, I don't know what happened. But now it's like my computer don't want to run. I shouldn't have done that horizontal stuff. But now I got to finish it out because I really don't want to have to change the... Because I'd have to reset everything.
Your first and only decapitation investigation.
Yes,
So it's quite rare. I think you mentioned that previously, right?
correct.
Ultimately, then, after you conduct this initial execution of the search warrant walkthrough, are you then assigned to canvass sort of the surrounding neighborhood of the residence for video surveillance?
Yes, I assisted with that.
And that essentially becomes your larger role in the investigation, correct?
That's correct.
Then, after canvassing for video surveillance at that Paladura address and the neighboring community there, did you then assist with the execution of a search warrant at a 5510 Porcupine Rim?
Yes, I did.
And after assisting with that at the 5510 Porcupine Rim, you then begin to review all of the videos that were ultimately collected from the canvases, correct?
Yes, and the canvas took several days, just in terms of the amount of video that we were able to collect, as well as just the number of houses in both neighborhoods. All of that video was not attained immediately. It took several days and going back out several times to do the best we could to get as much video as possible.
And I'm showing you what's been previously admitted as states 11A. Your Honor, permission to publish.
Permission granted.
And this would be the neighborhood of Paladura, correct?
Yes.
And all of these little, I guess, yellow thumbtacks there, are those the residences that were canvassed and the area that was canvassed for video surveillance?
I believe so.
Do you have a reason to dispute that that's the area?
I don't, other than just the number of, or the specific addresses and stuff. I'm not sure what they are, but I believe that those, I mean, I know that we canvassed those entire area.
Okay.
So
So you had members of the team with you canvassing as well. It wasn't just you.
correct.
Is that why you're hesitating a bit?
Yes.
Okay. But you as the collective went ahead and canvassed this entire area with these thumbtacks here?
That is correct.
Okay. And then I also had mentioned permission to publish states 11.
Permission granted.
We have here another map showing the 5510 Porcupine Rim address. There was some canvassing, as we mentioned, in that location as well, correct?
That is correct.
So I want to start with the canvassing of the Paladura address, which was the neighborhood of the murder scene, correct?
Yes,
The actual neighborhood itself was searched as well as nearby businesses, correct?
that's correct.
During your review of the surveillance footage that was obtained, were there certain videos that ultimately became important as part of the investigation?
Yes, there were.
And why did they become important?
Because we were able to identify specific vehicles that were involved with our associated people to this.
And specifically then, the vehicle located at Paladura was a truck with a trailer attached, is that right?
Correct. It was the 2020 white Chevy truck.
Belonging to Johnathan Willette?
That's correct.
And then also a vehicle of interest was a 2017 Nissan Armada belonging to a Devyn Michaels, correct?
That's correct.
And then at the Porcupine Rim address, there was also a white work van as well as a blue Honda vehicle that was in the driveway, both belonging to a Devyn Willette.
Correct.
And so knowing those vehicles, that's why when you're reviewing the surveillance video, you have those vehicles in mind to see if there's anything of evidentiary value, correct?
That's correct.
So ultimately, you're able to collect from various addresses according to that map, but specifically, you obtained a video from 2696 Paladura Drive, correct?
Yes.
And that would be the house next door to the murder scene at 2698, correct?
That's correct.
Then also 2697 Paladura Drive,
Correct.
2701 Paladura Drive,
Yes.
a Chevron at a 201 North Pecos Road,
That's correct.
2699 Fampon Court,
Yes.
as well as 6621 Gray Juniper Road, which would be ultimately near the Porcupine Rim address, correct?
That's correct.
You also collected video from a 6505 Taylor Creek Avenue, which also would be near the Porcupine Rim address, correct?
That was correct. Correct.
And Your Honor, at this time, I believe between the parties stipulating, the state would like to move for admission of the surveillance video marked exhibits 622 through 630.
We have no objection to their admission.
All right, 622 to 630 will be admitted.
So I want to start with the house next door to the murder scene. That would be at 2696 Paladura Drive. Is that right?
Yes.
And there was a video that you had determined had some evidence or some information that was helpful to the case, correct?
Yes.
Permission to publish?
Permission granted.
Are you able to see that on the monitor in front of you, sir?
Yes.
Okay. So I have published states 625, which is that 2696 Paladura Drive. Do these appear to be the files that were obtained from that address?
Yes, they are.
I am going to play the file XPTM5940. And I'm going to pause it here. Before I start playing this, I just want to talk a little bit about this video. So it looks like there is no date and time stamp on this video. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. But you were ultimately the individual that collected this video, correct?
Yes.
And so when you collected the video from the homeowner or the individual that lived at the home, you were able to see on their phone what the date and time stamp was. Is that right?
That's correct.
So even though we don't have the date and time stamp on here, we have your testimony of what you saw on their phone, correct?
Correct.
Oh, so we're just supposed to take their word for it, huh?
And in this video, in the top right-hand corner, do we see a vehicle there?
Yes, we do.
And what type of vehicle is that?
That's a Nissan Armada.
Playing? I'm going to stop it at 35 or 36 seconds.
nothing happened.
What do we see there in the top right-hand corner, sort of past the Nissan Armada?
What you're seeing there is Jonathan's 2020 white Chevy 2500 truck. It's distinctive because of the two flags that are displayed in the back, and then he has the trailer connected to the back that he's towing as well.
Playing at 36 seconds.
Must have been windy. Some.
And ultimately in this video, we see that vehicle doing essentially a U-turn and now going past that 2698 Paladura Drive address, correct?
That's correct.
And we're able to also determine what time this occurred based off of other surveillance video, correct?
That's correct.
Specifically from 2697 Paladura Drive. The corresponding time would be 8:18 p.m.?
Correct. 8:18, approximately 43 seconds. It passes the front of the house across the street.
And we will get to that in a second, just so I don't have to switch the discs out.
Okay.
There is another file of note, UNDM 8045. I'm going to go ahead and play that. And stopping it there. Again, what do we see in the top right-hand corner?
We see the same Nissan Armada.
Playing. And ultimately in that video, what is of evidentiary note?
In that video that you're able to see outside of the screen what apparently is probably a vehicle pulling up, because you're able to see the headlights of that vehicle that comes to a stop and is illuminating the Nissan Armada based on where it's parked. And from viewing that, it appears that that vehicle would have parked directly in front of 2698 Paladura.
Because this camera is next door 2696, correct?
Correct.
Now you see UF 1169 publishing. What did we see in that video?
In that video, it appears to be the same headlights that are on, just because the shadows are the same as they were in the previous video that we just watched. And then you're able to see what appears to be two figures that are moving just based on the shadows. And then because there's audio with this, you're also able to hear that those people are talking.
Do we have a time on this?
Were you able to determine the time frame of this video?
The determination on this time frame was based off of another camera when the truck returned to the neighborhood. So this would be at approximately 22:12.
And that would be PM?
Correct.
My message to Red Thread Interrogation. I'm going to leave a little message since they like to come over on this channel so much. I'm sure they'll.
Now, just to
So here's a message from Red Thread.
go to the next
Keep coming over here and stop.
video where you found something interesting.
Go ahead.
ALN M6052
Just pick which ones you want.
publishing.
Do all my videos. I will start every single video from now on telling every new viewer about how much of a piece of trash you are. I'm going to tell every new viewer. I'm going to make sure every new viewer knows that you're doing this. It might not catch up to you right away. It might take some time. But over the course of the next few years, you're going to see a difference with all those people that when they start realizing that you're remaking all of my videos, when I tell them, when they come to my channel for the first time, and I mention it at the beginning of every single video, that you're coming to my channel and taking the videos
And I want to pause it there at 7 seconds. What did we see in this video?
We saw the flash of the rear lights on the Nissan Armada, which is often consistent with someone unlocking a car.
Your entire channel is
Playing
off of
again.
everybody else's labor. It's off of everybody else's back. And over time, people are going to start to see you for who you are. You'll see the views start to
And
drop.
what did we see there?
See your money.
The driver's side door of the vehicle was opened.
Playing at 18. And there?
Another flash of the lights.
You got my
Did we
rear-
also
the
hear
rear-
something?
And we did hear something.
What did
Which
it
is
appear to be?
behind the scenes.
possibly a locking or unlocking of the doors.
threatened me and thought I was just gonna let that go. So I could have went to you.
And what do we hear there?
But there we hear the engine of the vehicle starting.
And did it appear that someone entered the vehicle prior to the start?
Correct. It appears that somebody entered into the driver's seat.
And what did we see there?
There we saw the vehicle, the Nissan Armada, slowly pull forward. The brake lights seemed to be activated, which made it appear that the vehicle was just pulling forward and was going to stop just out of the view of the camera.
Okay. And what home was it going in front of?
By the direction that it was going, since it was pulling straight like that, it would be directly in front of 2698 Paladura, and it would be nose to nose with the 2020 Chevy truck that had already parked along the very front of the house.
And that was the home of the murder, correct?
That is correct.
And the time frame for that, through your investigation, you were able to look at different information, in this case to determine time frames, correct?
Correct.
And we know that the Nissan had been activated prior to 11 p.m. Is that right?
The video we just watched.
Yes.
The timestamp on that one was actually 23:05:46 seconds, and that was from the home, the resident who actually had the video. That was from her cellular device. And it
So
seemed
that
being
would
able to see
be
the timestamp on it.
11:05 p.m. for us laymen?
Correct.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now going to FE 4489FC file, publishing. Thank you. pause it there. What did we see there?
There we saw lights flashing from when you're looking at the screen from the right out of the screen, but it illuminated the screen, and they're consistent with what we had seen earlier with somebody activating the car, like unlocking or locking a car.
Playing. And what did we see in that video?
I feel like they just always keep replaying the same thing over and over, just slower each time. So I hear tomorrow there's no court. So there's no court for Devyn Michaels tomorrow. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do some updates on some cases that I noticed that I've covered in the past. They have some updates. So I decided I'm gonna go ahead and do an update before I have to leave tomorrow. I'm gonna do live updating the David and Celeste. That's one of them, and there's a couple other ones I see some updates on. I'm just cutting in because I know I have to do this for fair use. So, what do you guys think so far? What are we thinking? Do we really think Devyn did this, or do we think the son did it? I think Devyn played her part, like the part that she already pled guilty to, but backed out of the plea deal. But I don't believe she did the whole head thing, and I don't think she moved it. I don't think she threw it in the garbage. I think someone else did. Devier already said he did not like his father. Him and his father went years without speaking to each other. He said his dad didn't even call him on his own birthday. So that just goes to show you that he really didn't like his dad. And his dad really didn't like him. What are you doing marrying your dad's girlfriend? Come on now, it takes a lot of nerve.
In that video, you see, after hearing the engine start of a vehicle, you then see a vehicle back into view, and it appears to be the same Nissan Armada that we'd seen earlier.
And based on you looking at the resident's cellular phone, did that appear to have occurred at 2:04 in the morning?
Correct.
And just to orient us, publishing states 9. Are you able to use that mouse and hover over the address of that surveillance video we just watched?
Yes. So the pointer of the mouse is over 2696, which is where that surveillance was from.
Okay, so it would be right next door to the flag or the pin there, which would be the murder, the house of the murder, correct?
Correct.
Now, the next address of importance was a 2697 Paladura Drive, correct?
Correct.
Using that same map, states 9 publishing, can you orient us where this address is with the mouse?
Yes. So
Don't click.
2697 is going to be across the street on the corner, right here at the corner of Paladura and Caroline Laurel Street.
Publishing States 690, 626, excuse me. We see a video file there, correct, sir?
Yes.
Okay. And here we're focusing sort of at the top center of the screen, right?
That's correct.
And ultimately what we see in this video is a vehicle do a U-turn at the intersection of Paladura Drive and Carolina Laurel Street, correct?
That's correct.
And we have a date listed there as August 6, 2023.
Yes.
And what time?
0819, and it had gone up to 17, but started at 081838.
Next, turning to 2701 Paladura Drive. Can you please orient us at States 9?
I believe it's going to be this house right here. So it's going to be, it's 2701 is going to be across the street, and just like one house to the west. So not directly across the street from the residence, from our residence of where the homicide occurred.
Sort of catty corner.
Correct.
Publishing 2701. Specifically 627. Now, was there something unique about this particular camera? Was it motion activated? Was it always on? Something else?
No, this camera was motion activated. It was motion activated by what appeared to be by the residents themselves moving around in their driveway or in front of their residence.
Have some long file names here, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm not going to play every single video, but the members of the jury will have time to review those if they'd like to, but there were particular videos that showed interesting things. Is that right?
Yes.
And this is specifically the file 2AA341707, BE3055, BCD0241, C3B0F77BD0. Lots of letters and numbers, correct?
Yes.
All right, so in the top right-hand corner of this file, what do we see there?
Besides the timestamp, you're also able to see across the street to the residence 2698 Paladura, where the murder had occurred.
Okay. And what date do we see there?
It's 2023-0806, so August 6th.
And what time?
1826:58.
And can you do the math for me, what
So
time that
it'd
would be?
6:26, almost 6:27 at night, or in the afternoon, evening.
6:27 in the evening,
Correct.
playing? And specifically with the 2698 address, what did we see the individual doing that was in the screen?
It appeared that there was a male that was loading items or arranging items in the trailer that was parked in the driveway.
Turning to the file ending in 105DD, starting with FC4. I'm going to pause it there. Do we see a date and time stamp? And can you please read it?
Yes, we do. It's 2023-0806, and then the timestamp is 21/11/47, which would be 9/11/47 p.m.
And then,
Which exhibit? I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but which exhibit is this one?
this is the same exhibit, 627. File starts with FC4, ends with 105DD.
105DD?
Correct.
Thank you very much.
No problem. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this video. And we're specifically looking of evidentiary value at the top right-hand corner, correct?
That's correct.
And why is that? That's the home of where the murder took place, correct?
It is the home of where the murder occurred. The garage door is closed, and the truck that had been backed up with the trailer in the driveway is no longer there.
Okay. Now turning to file starting with FDD, ending in 79B5. Pausing there. What do we see there as the date and time?
Date and time is going to be 2023-0807 for the date, and the time is going to be 080954. So 8:09 in the morning.
Thank you. That one's a little bit easier. What do we see in the top right-hand corner?
So we're able to see in the top right-hand corner is Johnathan's truck is now parked on the roadway in front of the residence with the trailer still attached, and it's parked facing essentially the opposite direction of traffic. You're also able to see that the garage door is partially open, but the significance that I saw from this video is the fact that the truck is parked consistent with what we had seen in the video from the residence directly next door, the 2696 house, where we had seen the headlights that had arrived during the night, and then the two shadows. So that would kind of corroborate the fact that he had parked his truck in that manner that night when they had arrived, and that's how we also found it when we arrived.
So essentially the Nissan Armada and that truck would have been nose to nose at that previous video that we saw.
Correct.
During the night.
Correct.
And it's still in that same position in the morning.
Yes.
Okay. Did you also canvass for video at a Chevron?
Yes.
And you obtained video from that location at 201 North Pecos Road, is that right?
Yes.
Why was that important?
It was learned that they had stopped at that Chevron after, actually I should say, as they were returning from 5510 Porcupine Rim, they had stopped at that Chevron prior to getting back to the Paladera house.
Publishing 622.
Oh my God, I was so interested in watching this that I forgot I had to stop and talk. Anyway, so are you guys enjoying this? If you like the live, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. Any interaction with the video is interaction, and it lets YouTube know that people are looking at my videos and hopefully getting the algorithm. And subscribe. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. I'm working on different things to make my channel a little more exciting. I can't really do much now except for just get the fan base out there and get the people, to notice my videos and get people to share them, stuff like that. I mean, I can only do so much on my end too, but I really do enjoy streaming and talking to people, just never anyone to talk to. I usually watch them on my own unless people are watching them in the replay, which I do get a lot of people in replays. So, but anyways, okay. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, okay, y'all?
There were 2 gas stations that we obtained surveillance video from, correct?
The gas station that I was aware of that we collect video was the 201 North Business Road, and that was the Chevron Terrible Hearst.
Publishing 623. Opening the file, camera 7. And I'm just going to pause immediately. In the bottom left-hand corner, do we see a date and time there? And if we do, please read it into the record.
The date is 08/06/2023, and the time is 22:04:01, which would be 10:04 at night.
Playing. And pausing it there at 22:04, what did we see come into the screen?
We see the white 2020 Chevy truck towing the trailer.
And that would be Johnathan Willette's truck and trailer, correct?
That's correct.
Playing. And do we see anything else of evidentiary value in this camera angle?
No.
Now you obtained another camera angle, correct?
Correct.
Publishing camera 9. Pausing there. Can you please read the date and time stamp into the record there?
Date is 08/06/2023, and the time on it is 22:04:02, 10:04 at night.
And can you describe the angle of this camera?
This camera is looking what would be east, so it's looking into the parking lot area and the gas pump area of the Chevron Terrible's gas station. It's on the south side of the building.
Playing. Pausing there at 22:04 and 41 seconds. What do we see there?
We see the white Chevy truck with the trailer belonging to Johnathan.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Belonging to Johnathan.
And it's sort of parked in between these two sets of palm trees.
Correct. It will stop and park right between those.
And the actual store belonging to the Chevron, would that be to the left of the screen?
Yes.
Playing. And we see someone getting out of the passenger side of the vehicle, correct?
That's correct.
As well as the driver's side?
Yes.
Passenger appears to be female.
Correct.
Driver appears to be male.
That's correct.
And now they are walking towards the actual Chevron store, is that right?
Yes.
And they are still appear to be out of frame, correct?
That's correct.
I'm going to scrub a bit into the video. So stopping it at 22:10, according to the timestamp on the video, we now see that female and male walking back towards Jonathan's vehicle, correct?
Yes, we do.
And that's about 5-ish minutes since they left to outside of the screen, correct?
Approximately, yes.
Male gets in driver's side,
Yes.
female gets in passenger side.
Correct.
Lights on the vehicle activated. Correct?
Yes.
And at about 22:11:06, the vehicle with the trailer then pulls away. Is that right?
That's correct. It pulls
And it-
forward and it's going to proceed over to Windmill Parkway. It's going to turn right, which would be westbound on Windmill Parkway, which is going back towards the Paladura neighborhood.
Turning your attention now to 2699 Van Palm Court. That was near the Paladura address, is that right?
Correct. It's a house just to the south. Or excuse me, not a house, a street to the south of Paladura.
Are
It's
you
on
able to
Cul-de-sac Street.
use that mouse and orient us, please?
Yes. So this cul-de-sac street right here is Fan Palm Court, and 2699 is the house at the end of the cul-de-sac right there.
So it would essentially be the street on the parallel, the street beneath the Paladura address, right?
That's correct.
And you received a video surveillance from that, correct?
Yes.
Publishing 628. I'm going to play file ending in 324. Pausing the video, can you please read the date and timestamp into the record at the beginning of the video?
Yes. Date is 08/06/2023, and the timestamp is 20/13/21 or 8:13 at night.
And can you orient us on this video, which street is which?
Yes, so directly in front of this where the cul-de-sac ends, this is actually Fan Palm Court, and it's looking out at Charter Oak Street, which is a street that leads from in and out of the neighborhood, but from Paladura over to Windmill.
Plain. I'm gonna scrub. I'm gonna pause there at 2019-45. What do we see towards the top of the screen?
Towards the top of the screen on Charter Oaks, you're able to see Jonathan's 2020 white Chevy truck towing the trailer, and they're proceeding southbound on Charter Oaks towards Windmill.
And that would be the exit or the entrance of the Paladura neighborhood.
Correct.
Publishing the next file ending in 441. Beginning of the video, date and timestamp. Could you read that into the record, please?
Date 08/06/2023 with a timestamp of 22/04/38, which is 10:04 at night.
And play the video starting at 22:11 and 16 seconds. Stopping at 22:12 and 7 seconds. What do we see there at the top of the screen?
We now see Jonathan's Chevy truck with the trailer. However, this time he's now driving northbound, and this coincides with coming from the Chevron, coming up Windmill, turning onto Charter Oaks, and this will be the direction going back to his house as he's going towards Paladura.
So he's now entering the neighborhood, correct?
Correct.
Publishing file ending in 128. Can you please read that date and timestamp into the record?
Yes. Date's going to be 08/07/2023, and the timestamp is 02/01/26, so 2:01 in the morning.
So several hours later, but same camera view, correct?
That's correct.
Now into the early morning hours of August 7th on approximately 2:01 in the morning.
Correct.
Playing at 2:04, 3 seconds. Stopping there at 2:04 and 36 seconds. What did we see there?
You see a vehicle that's on Charter Oaks, appears to be the Nissan Armada, and it's traveling southbound, which will be coming from the Paladura street and address and going towards Windmill.
Towards the exit of the community, correct?
Correct.
Did you say correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Now at 2:17, Charter Oaks, ultimately we see an activation as well, correct?
That's correct.
And what does that activation show us at 2:04 in the morning?
It shows a vehicle that's passing by, turning from Paladura onto Charter Oaks, The house right here is able to, it gets an activation, and it appears to be the Nissan Armada as it's leaving Palo Duro and turning onto Charter Oaks.
And did you also canvass for video at 2699 Basalm Pear Court?
Yes.
Okay, can you orient us where that is?
Yes. So Basalm Pear Court is the street to the north of Palo Duro. Here's Palo Duro, and it's the street right here that also ends in a cul-de-sac at the end. 2699 was actually directly behind the house where the murder occurred.
And were you able to locate any surveillance video from that?
Yes, the resident there was able to provide activations from their surveillance system.
What was that, sir?
Yes, the resident there was able to provide activations from their surveillance system that they had.
Anything of evidentiary note?
Evidentiary note, no. There was activity, some of the residents coming and going, walking their dog, and a little bit of activity on the street, but nothing that was suspicious in nature.
And then how about 2706 Basalm Pear, that same street?
Yes. And
Can you orient us, please?
Yes, that would actually be up here at the very end of the cul-de-sac. So they border, their sidewall actually bordered with Charter Oaks.
Anything of evidentiary value from that?
No, only thing that they did provide video. The only thing that we did see on that was actually the residents themselves just at their home.
So same as the other there?
Correct.
Nothing suspicious, no one jumping walls, anything of that nature?
That is correct.
No odd vehicles coming through?
No.
Now, did you also canvass the African Violet Street?
Yes, it was canvassed.
Can you please orient us on that?
Okay, so African Violet is going to be the roadway up here. Has a cul-de-sac down at the east end of it, and then when you come up to the west, it actually comes up to Charter Oak Street.
Anything of evidentiary value from that?
No, there was not. Video was provided, but there was nothing suspicious, just homeowners and the vehicles that belong there.
Now, nothing suspicious in that surveillance either, correct?
That's correct.
And you knew the important vehicles of this case, the Nissan Armada, the Honda, as well as the work van, and then Jonathan's truck, right?
That's correct. But also, in addition, while viewing all this video surveillance, when I say nothing suspicious was observed, looking for anybody that might possibly been, essentially sneaking in the neighborhood or looking like they're not sure if they're supposed to be there, as well as vehicles that are driving erratically that may, like trying to be fleeing a scene or, not familiar with the neighborhood that they're in.
And so after reviewing these videos related to the murder scene itself, you're able to eliminate anyone from jumping the wall or anything of that nature in the videos, correct?
That's correct.
Now I want to flip back to that Chevron. There was video surveillance taken from inside that Chevron, correct?
That's correct.
And at this time, I believe between stipulation of the parties, the state would move to admit 623A, 623B, and 623C, showing the stills from that surveillance video.
Yes, we have no objection to this. However, the entire video has been marked and admitted.
The entire video has been admitted?
Yeah, you.
Yes, yes.
The video from inside the store? We've only seen the video outside the store.
Correct.
Court's indulgence. So at this time, Your Honor, we have not admitted the full video just yet. However, we will be doing so, but these are just stills from the video.
Okay.
So the state moves for admission.
No objection.
There's no objection to the stills, which are the name of the video?
Specifically 623A, 623B, and 623C, Your Honor.
Those will be admitted.
Permission to publish.
Permission, right?
Showing you 623A. Does this appear to be a still from the surveillance video obtained from the Chevron?
Yes.
And what do we see in this video?
This video is showing the doorway, the entrance to the actual convenience store itself. And here you're able to see Devyn and Johnathan entering the store.
And is there, what is Devyn wearing in this photo?
In this, she has a white tank top, blue shorts, and then dark, appears to be Nike athletic shoes.
And is there something on her shoulder?
Yes.
What is that?
Like a backpack style purse bag.
Okay, so why is a different cop talking about the same surveillance we've seen already 2 days ago by someone else? I mean, the pictures don't change. Come on, people. Why are we doing this? Just to keep the trial going or what? You got nothing else on him, on her? I mean, this is ridiculous. It's almost over for the day.
So then showing you 623B, is that a close-up of that backpack style purse?
Yes, it is.
And again, the blue shorts and white tank top, correct?
That's correct.
623C, just another angle of them leaving the store, correct?
Yes.
But why? Why is the same picture? The same videos over and over. I've watched a lot of trials, but I don't quite remember.
During the
them doing
investigation,
that.
you had also learned that the Devyn Michaels had gone to a CVS store, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And so based on that, you obtained video surveillance from that location?
Yes, it was obtained.
Publishing 624. Specifically 8320 Cheyenne Ave, correct?
Yes.
I'm going to play the file drive-through outside. And do we see a date and time stamp there? And if so, please read it into the record.
The date 08/07/2023. Timestamp is 2:28:02 a.m.
And that's when the vehicle is pulling into the drive-through, is that correct?
That's correct.
And this is the drive-through to the pharmacy.
Yes, it is.
And what type of vehicle is that?
This is a Nissan Armada.
And this is the Nissan Armada belonging to Miss Michaels, correct?
Yes, it is.
Playing. Do we see, what do we see inside the vehicle?
You see female in a white tank top in the driver's seat, and she's the only subject or person that you can see inside the vehicle.
So no other individual visible inside this vehicle, correct?
That's correct.
And she looks very clean. She don't look like she just did some horrific crime. I mean, if she did and she was messing with that ammonia and bleach, don't you think those people would have even smelt that through the window? Like, it would be on her clothes. That is strong when you mix them two together. Oh my God, it makes like a smoke in a film. It's bad.
Passing things back and forth, right?
That's correct.
The same white tank top.
And the
Now, you
vehicle is
think-
now leaving that drive-through at approximately 2:30 in the morning on August 7th, correct?
Yes.
Now, you had mentioned that you also canvassed for video at and around the 5510 Porcupine Rim address, correct?
Yes, it was canvassed.
And that address had evidentiary value because that is the home of Miss Michaels, correct?
That's correct.
And what was the purpose of canvassing around that
I
neighborhood?
know, Devyn was
To
wearing
see when her car would come and go, as well as any other vehicles
white.
associated to that address, so that we just see the activity that occurred and match it up also with the other video that we'd already collected and reviewed.
Publishing. States 11. Do you recognize this map?
Yes, this is the neighborhood with the Porcupine Rim address.
And the Porcupine Rim address, the 5510, would be that red flag there, correct?
That's correct.
And did you collect, or I guess, did you canvass a 5530 Porcupine Rim address?
Yes.
Can you please orient us where that is?
Believe from this map it's going to be this house right here. So it's right at the, it's where the gray juniper turn happens to turn onto Porcupine Rim.
Now, how many entrances and exits does this particular neighborhood have?
This neighborhood only has one entrance and exit, and that's onto Ann Road.
Can you please use the mouse
Yes.
to go over to that?
So it's right here.
And there's no other entrance, no other exit for vehicles, correct?
For vehicles, that's correct.
So 5530, you did meet with the homeowners there. They had some activations of note,
Yes.
and what were they?
They had two specific activations of note, one of which occurred at roughly 21:01 hours or 9:01 p.m., where the Johnathan's truck and trailer arrived in the neighborhood and turned in front of that street, in front of that house to travel down the street towards the 5510 address. And then the second activation of note was at roughly 02:42 hours on the morning of the 7th, and that is when the Nissan Armada arrives in the neighborhood and turns from the Gray Juniper address, or excuse me, street onto the Porcupine Rim Street and proceeds towards 5510.
Do you see the white work van between those operative hours coming and going from
No.
that address?
No, I do
How
not.
about that blue Honda belonging to Devier?
No.
Just Jonathan's vehicle and Devyn's, correct?
During those hours, that's correct.
Which time span did you look for videos from that address?
From that address, the time span was, I believe it was 8 o'clock at night on the 6th until 6 in the morning on the 7th.
And in that time frame, you only see, of note, the Nissan Armada, as well as Devyn's Nissan Armada, as well as Jonathan's truck and trailer, excuse me.
That's correct.
No white work van, no blue Honda.
No.
Did you then obtain video surveillance from the home of 6621 Gray Juniper?
It was obtained, yes.
Can you please orient us where that is?
I believe it's going to be the house right here. So it's on Gray Juniper and it faces north, and it's able to view the access from Ann Road into the neighborhood.
So it's able to view the only entrance and exit from that neighborhood, correct?
That's correct. That's correct.
And just moving back to 5530 Porcupine Rim for the record. Playing file 2101. And I believe bottom right-hand corner, we have a date and time stamp there, is that right?
Yes.
And what does that read?
08/06/2023 for the date, and 2101, I believe 36 is the seconds on it. So 9:01 at night.
Okay. And what did we see in this video?
You were able to see Jonathan's truck and trailer as it turned from the Gray Juniper onto Porcupine Rim.
So essentially coming from the entrance exit street, essentially.
Yes.
And turning the corner onto Porcupine Rim.
That's correct.
Playing 0242 file. Can you tell us the date and timestamp there?
Date's going to be 08/07/2023 with a time of 02/42/50, so 2:42 in the morning.
And playing from the beginning, what do we see there?
And there you see the Nissan Armada is traveling from the entrance of down Gray Juniper and then turning onto Porcupine Rim and going towards the 5510 address.
And that would be Devyn's Nissan Armada, correct?
That's correct.
So now going back to that 6621 Gray Juniper. Publishing for the record 6/29. Now, this video is slow to real time, is that right?
That's correct.
How many, is it about 3 minutes slow?
It's 3 minutes slow. So the timestamp on the video itself is 3 minutes behind actual time.
Okay, playing the first file, 512. We have a date and time stamp here.
Yes, the date's going to be 08/06/2023 with a time of 08/05/19 p.m.
Do we see Jonathan's truck enter the neighborhood here?
So
some
far on
point.
this, he entered the neighborhood at roughly 9 o'clock at night. I apologize. On this one, it'll actually be, because of the 3 minutes slow, it will be at 8:57 on this, based on the timestamp on this video.
And that's because it's 3 minutes slow, correct?
That's correct.
Oh, well, I gotta go pee. Oh, I got it. Oh gosh, I'm saying that right on my live. I bet everybody heard that. Sorry.
Playing at 8:56, 45 seconds. They're at 8:57, 36 seconds. What do we see?
We see Jonathan's white Chevy truck with the trailer entering off of Ann Road into the neighborhood, and then it proceeds to turn down Great Juniper towards Porcupine Rim.
Playing 1002. Ultimately, we see Jonathan's vehicle leaving, correct?
That's correct.
Do you recall about what time?
On this one with the timestamp, it'll be at 09:29 on this time, because he actually exits it at 09:32.
Playing at 0928. We see headlights there at 029.
Yes.
Sorry, 0929.
Yes.
Then what do we see there?
There once again, we see Jonathan's truck towing the trailer, and he's exiting the neighborhood, stopping at the stop sign at Ann Road. And then after waiting for traffic, he does proceed turning left on Ann Road.
And goes out of screen, correct?
Correct.
Playing 3413. What's the date and time stamp for this?
08/07/2023 is the date, and 02/34/20 a.m. is the time.
So hours later, correct, from the
That's
previous
correct.
video?
Correct.
And in this video, we'll see the Nissan Armada, is that right?
Yes, we will.
At 2:39, 28 seconds, is that Nissan Armada?
Yes, it is. Just turned in off of Ann Road and is proceeding down Great Juniper towards Porcupine Rim.
Playing 5338. Date and time stamp on this one.
Date is 08/07/2023 with a time of 06:53:48 seconds.
And in this video, we see Devier's white work van leaving the neighborhood, correct?
Yes, we will.
So what are we thinking about all these videos? What it's telling us the car's coming and going, but she was wearing the same clothes when she went through the drive-through at CVS. She was wearing the same clothes when she drove up to the CVS pharmacy. Had she cut that man's head off, she would not be that clean. There's no way. What is going on here? I still think the son, man, he's got something to do with this.
There at 7:31:54 seconds. What did we see there?
There we see the white work truck belonging to Devier.
What is it doing here?
It's exiting the neighborhood. It's currently at the stop sign waiting to turn onto Ann Road. And then it proceeds to turn left on Ann Road and out of view.
Okay. At 5829, playing that file. Specifically at, date and time stamp again.
Date on this one, 08/07/2023, and time is 07:58, 40 hours, a.m.
And in this, we will see the Devyn's Nissan Armada leaving at about 8 a.m., correct?
Correct.
And is that there?
Yes. Her vehicle pulled up to the stop sign and turned left onto Ann Road.
Then at 8:02:50, I believe we see her Nissan Armada return, correct?
Yes, we do.
So about 2 minutes later, it's coming back into the neighborhood, correct?
Approximately, yes.
Eight 8:02:48.
Correct. You see it turn from Ann Road into the neighborhood, turns left on Gray Juniper and proceeding towards Porcupine Rim.
And on this date, on August 7th of 2023, do we see trash cans in the road there?
Yes, we do.
So it appears to be trash day, is that right?
Yes.
Then fast forwarding, same video to about 8:08. At 8:08, what do we see there?
We see Devyn's Nissan Armada just turned from Gray Juniper. It's up at the stop sign about to turn onto Ann Road.
And so a few minutes after it had just come into the neighborhood, it's going back out, correct?
Correct.
Now, did you also canvass a 6505 Taylor Creek?
Yes, that was also, video was obtained from there as well.
And that would be related to Porcupine Rim, right?
Correct.
Okay. Can you orient us on there?
Yes. So the house that you're talking about is this corner house right here. Again, where you can have a kind of a line of sight to 5510 Porcupine Rim.
And I don't know that I moved to admit this, Your Honor. The state is now moving to admit State 660.
No objection.
Publishing. Playing 452. Is there something, oh, sorry, date and time stamp at the bottom right? Could you read that into the record, please?
Yes, the date's going to be 08/07/2023, and the timestamp is 06/2056 in the morning.
Is there something of evidentiary value that we see in this video?
Yes, so from this video, you're able to see over to 5510 Porcupine Rim. Specifically, you're able to see parked in the street is Devy's work truck, and it's parked at the corner. You're able to see the stop sign and the street sign, and so it kind of gives us an orientation on where his truck is parked. And then you can also see behind his truck, you can see the Nissan Armada in the driveway.
Can you please, I don't know if you're able to hover with the mouse of the work van, so we know where we're looking?
So the white van right here is the work van.
Okay. Playing. Again, trash day.
Yes.
Playing 2506. Date and timestamp.
Date is 08/07/2023. Timestamp is 06/21/27 in the morning.
Is this the same?
It's essentially immediately after.
Okay.
It's just a continuation of the one we watched before, essentially.
And again, seeing Debbie Ayer's work van, correct?
That's correct.
.0738, is this a video as well?
Yes, it is.
Now, I don't see a date and timestamp on this video, but is this another situation where you were able to determine the date and timestamp when looking at the video on the homeowner's device?
It's also embedded in the name of the video itself. So with the name of the video being 2023-0806, that notates the date of the actual video, and then the 09/07/38 notates the time. So it'd be 09/07/38, 38 p.m.
Okay, and what you're referring to is sort of in that top left-hand corner?
That's correct.
Okay, so 9:07 p.m. On August 6, 2023.
Correct.
Playing. Oh, sort of quick there.
Yes, it is.
So what do we ultimately see in this video?
Also, you're able to see that Jonathan's work truck has backed into, Jonathan's truck, the Chevy, has backed into the driveway 5510 with the trailer attached. And then it also shows Devier's work truck parked in the street, and the work truck essentially appears to be in the same location that it's observed in the morning videos.
So it doesn't appear to have moved
That's
from
correct.
its location in the morning versus this evening video, correct?
That's correct.
Now, as part of the overall investigation in this case, showing states 11, there's a Rebecca Road here, which would be on the back side of that 5510 Porcupine Rim residence, correct?
Correct.
And that street was canvassed for video, correct?
Yes, it was.
And no videos were obtained, nothing of evidentiary value, nothing suspicious, anything like that, correct?
That's correct. I was informed that there were no cameras that were observed on those houses. Those houses are also more, essentially, if you want to call them custom lots, so they're larger lots, so there's less homes as well, so less opportunity for there to be cameras.
So at no point during the night of August 6, 2023, do we see Devier's vehicles plural, seen coming or going from the residence, correct?
That's correct.
And we only see his work van ultimately leave at 7:30 in the morning, correct?
That's correct. It's 7 in the morning.
Thank you for correcting me. And just to states 11, hammer home.
Cell phone, Sam.
21 Gray Juniper Ave. This is a full-time.
Sorry, I was trying to pause it. But doesn't he sit in that chair funny, that detective? He's like sitting like his back is like completely straight. I kind of looked a little constipated to me, but I'm getting a little tired, so. Anyways, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you're on the replay, please don't forget to give it a like, share, and subscribe. Share it out. Let people know that the live is out there. Let YouTube know that, to share my video. Get me in the algorithm, people. I'm trying so hard. Okay, we're going to finish out the rest of the day.
Video camera. It's not an activation camera, right?
This correct.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
Never want to break up the ability of the attorneys to question the witness, so at this point we are going to take our night recess and we'll do cross-examination. And everybody please remember tomorrow is a holiday, so the court is closed tomorrow. So we will not be in session tomorrow and we'll be back on Wednesday. During this recess, you must not discuss or communicate with anyone, including fellow jurors, in any way regarding this case or its merits, either by voice, phone, email, text, internet, or other means of communication or media. You must not read, write, listen to news or media accounts to come here. You must not do any research, such as consulting dictionary, using the internet, or using reference history. You must not make any investigation, test the theory of the case, recreate any aspect of the case, or in any other way investigate or learn about the case on your own. You must not form.
All right, y'all. Well, that ends the day today. Like she said, no court tomorrow, so poor Devyn has to spend the whole day in the jail. Well, I would hope she's used to it by now. But anyways, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let me know how you're enjoying the streams, and let me know what you think of the case. Give me your opinions. I like to hear different opinions. But anyways, I'm going to finish out my night by preparing the live that I'm going to do tomorrow morning. I'm not sure what time. I want to make sure she's not talking. I'm not sure what time I'm going to go live tomorrow, but I'm going to do an update on some of the cases that have some meaningful updates to them. So like the Devyn and Celeste. There's a few other ones. I'll have to look and go over it. But anyways, you have a good night. Stay safe. And I'll see you in the next one. All right. All right. Bye-bye.